had like no respect for them. Like, especially when they tried to display authority, I was like, who are you talking to? Like, I would get defensive. I would have an attitude, and it was just not going well.
The broken home did break both of us, so
it did.
Sorry, it did.
It did.
A broken home definitely broke me. But it's like little different details, even as you grow up, they still affect you because it's like sometimes it feels like there's no home base. Hey y'all, I'm Zoe JL.
And I'm Alexis Simone.
And this is the Soundwaves podcast,
where we dive deep into the rhythms and stories that shape our world.
Yes. Cheers, sister.
Yes.
Alrighty, so what are we drinking today?
Today we are drinking another mocktail.
Yes.
It's Prickly Paloma, and it has our wonderful adaptogens, L-theanine, ashwagandha, green tea. And I just recently bought the L-theanine tincture, y'all. I'm very excited about it.
Ooh, I'm excited to try it too.
That's our favorite one. So it's like, why not just get it directly from the source? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited.
So
cheers.
Go ahead and drink. Tastes good.
I don't know. That still just tastes like medicine. But it is
like dragon fruit.
Interesting. I can see that. But the main flavor they said was orange.
It's nothing
like
prickly about it. Because when I think about prickly, I think about like a pear.
Right? Or I was going to say a margarita.
Yeah.
But it's not giving that. It's not giving either one.
Okay. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about our experiences coming from broken homes and kind of the journey of how we went from that to prioritizing wanting to be married.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
So, first. Y'all, first things first. The icebreaker.
Okay.
We're going to play this or that.
Okay.
And I try not to be as explicit as my mom wanted to.
I haven't seen it, so let's hear it.
But it's very subtle. Okay, so first things first. We all used to talk about this in college. Gunna versus Little Baby.
Now it's Gunna. But back then in college, I used to be like Little Baby, Little Baby, Little Baby, Little Baby, Little Baby.
I was always Gunna, y'all, because that's 10 out of 10. Little Baby can't switch it up like Gunna can.
Okay, no shades. Like,
right, Little Baby, if you see this, I still love you. All right, Atlanta versus New York.
Bitch. New York 10 times. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so I've been to New York. I never lived in New York.
I would love to hear it.
But
you cannot not choose where you're from. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, she's trying to switch up.
No, I'm up because, like, when going to Long Island, it has the houses, it has the suburbs. It's similar to Atlanta. I'm not a big fan of the, like, inner city and not having no privacy and space.
Oh, you mean living?
As far as living.
Oh, I thought you meant to have a good time.
To have a good time in New York.
Yeah.
But living Atlanta.
Got you.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah. Okay, period.
But when I go to New York, and she hasn't even experienced the best of the best. Like, she hasn't came in the summer or anything like that, but anytime she has come with me, she's had a good time. I'm just saying, like, it's a great time.
It is a great time, and this summer is the summer.
This summer's the summer, baby.
Period. Yeah. Okay, next up, a sew-in versus a quick weave.
A sew-in, I think. A sew-in because I buy quality hair, and I had to learn the hard way that you really can't reuse your hair if you do it.
With that glue on it.
Yeah. And then they also cut your tracks a lot when you do a quick weave.
Mm-hmm.
But I love a quick weave because it's cheaper, it's faster. So, like, if you're looking to do a little in and out, of course. But for longevity, definitely a sew-in.
Yeah. I had such a terrible experience with a quick weave. That glue was all in my hair. And I'm a little hesitant to try one ever since then.
Yeah.
It was too much. Letting conditioner soak in my hair. Girl, this is too much.
Yeah.
All right. Restaurant versus club.
I wish you would have said lounge versus
I know, but every city don't have lounges like we do.
You right. Okay. I'm gonna go with restaurant.
Okay.
You?
I would do restaurant too.
I just love a good restaurant vibe, like especially with the right person.
Yes.
I
don't get me wrong though. I love to hear some loud ratchet ass music.
That's why I wish you would have said club versus lounge.
But when you're like at a new restaurant trying new foods and the environment is beautiful
and you got money to spend
and the service The drinks, yeah. Restaurant, for sure, we love to eat.
Right.
All right, last one. Missionary versus doggy style.
Oh.
Let's throw that one in there.
You go first. I've been answering everything first. Let me hear it.
I'm going to say missionary because it's just so passionate and so intimate, and it's just...
Because you pretty. Oh. Isn't that's in a song right now?
It is. But doggy style, if it's a drunk night.
Yeah. I have the same answer. I don't want to be... I'm a lady. No, but yeah, I'm a lover, bruh. So let's give it missionary.
Okay, period. So that concludes our icebreaker for this episode.
Loved it. Thanks, Lex. So
fun.
All right. So are you starting us off, or how are we doing it?
Yes, I'm going to start us off. Okay. So she just mentioned what we're discussing.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our first question.
Okay.
And it's how or what was your experience, your upbringing of like a broken home? Like what made your living and upbringing a broken home?
Okay. Oh my God, this topic is like so close to the heart.
It is.
But growing up, my parents, they were together for a long time. I think they started dating when they were 18. Okay. They had me at 24. And then when I was like sometime in high school is when they broke up. So it was a broken home for me because I actually seen my parents together. Like they were together for a long period of my childhood or my life, I guess, up until high school.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And they broke up then. And yeah, that's when I had 2 different homes. You know, my parents both live in different homes, and the reality of being having a broken home hit me in high school.
And that's such a strong time because you're literally like, you're old enough to know what's going on, and to actually know your feelings about it.
Yeah, and I feel like before I used to think it was so dramatic to see in movies, like, oh, like what the hell are they going through? Like, why is it so crazy? But it's like little different details. Even as you grow up, they still affect you because it's like sometimes it feels like there's no home base, especially when I go to New York. I know my parents would probably hate to hear this, but like, through college, going back home used to be such a tussle for me because it's like, you got to go here, you got to go here, you got to visit your family in all of these different places. So, yeah, it was definitely broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. That is tough. For me, I never saw my parents together. Mm-hmm. I've always seen my dad, like, up until the age of 8, pop in and out and like, oh, hey, I'm coming for a visit, like, come see me and things like that. And I have like bits and pieces of like memories from going to see him at different people's houses or like the mall or stuff like that. But they were never like in a relationship when they had me or like remember, like, I don't remember that. I think honestly they may have broke up when I was like 1 or 2, so very young. And my father left, like he started his own family, went to live somewhere else, and I just never saw him anymore.
Don't get sad.
Don't get sad. It's reality. It's reality.
Okay.
But it's okay. I like, you know, you move on and things like that. But the last time I saw him as a kid, I was the age of 8. And it affected me, but I also always put up a defense. Like when people used to be like, oh, where's your dad? Like, especially when I met new friends. And I'd be like, I don't know.
Why would you ask that? But that's some solid stuff to ask.
Exactly. Like growing up, you go to somebody's house, you're like, oh, where your daddy at?
Don't do me. Don't even do that. You know you don't see no man's shoes at the door.
He ain't here, baby. He ain't here. But, you know, I did see him at the grown age of what, 25, 26? So from 8 to 26, I did not see him. I did not hear from him. I did not talk to him.
Yeah.
And 26 brought us back, and it was different. It was like experience. But yeah.
Okay. Well, moving to the next question, to get even deeper.
Right.
Did a broken home break you?
Ooh. I don't want to say it did in a sense because I never actually saw it. Together. And so that was my normal. Like, you know, of course, growing up and watching different things and on TV and movies, you always know like the stereotype of like, oh, the daddy not in the home and things like that. Like that was my reality. And it was pretty normal because looking at my friends at that time, only one of my friends actually had their parents together in a married environment, like a marriage. They didn't, like, their parents were not living together, but they did like still have their dads in their lives. So only one friend had married parents. And so it was my normal. I will say not having a father in the home did necessarily break my perspective of what a man looks like and like a good man, because anytime a man tried to assert any authority in my life, whether that was like a coach or a teacher or my mom was dating, I had like no respect for them. Like, especially when they tried to display authority, I was like, who are you talking to? Like, I would get defensive. I would have an attitude, and it was just not going
And she
well.
can hit man.
I'm working on it. Okay, like, but yes, I have hit men in the past because my respect for them is
low.
It was low, right? Because I never really saw what a man looked like in the home, or a good one. Because of course my mom dated and things like that, but I wasn't a big fan of them, and they weren't like displaying this very strong man figure in my life, displaying that in her life either. So my like perspective and respect towards men was very low, and I learned that at adult age, and I had to change that, especially when dating with other adults. It was like, girl, no, like you cannot be treating men like this.
Yeah.
So it broke that. It did break that.
So you say yes, the broken home did break you.
It did break me in that sense, yes. I don't hit men no more, y'all.
Oh, okay, period. Because I told her, my mama said, if you hit that man, you better be prepared.
And my thought process used to be, and I'm okay if I'm taking that risk, because please don't. I was that upset in that moment. But we don't let emotions control us.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. A broken home definitely broke me. But it's so crazy. I was just sitting here thinking, like, when you're younger, it's a certain type of bliss that comes with being young and just living and not like overthinking everything that you're doing. So like in the process, maybe I didn't think so, but definitely like as you get older, you reflect on what the hell was really going on in your life, for sure. Like let's really take it back. I think I became a stoner.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Yeah. I think I was very confused about what love really looked like because of just the way things happened with my parents and how one moved on and how the other one was processing and stuff like that. So it was just like, dang, like what is that? Like I don't know. I've even been honest with my parents and I told them like I don't think I've got shown healthy resolution skills. Like it's just like I'm mad and I'm over you type shit. Like of course they were together for mad long, but I'm just saying I haven't seen like conflict resolution, more like conflict, maybe a little bit of resolution, you know. And it's not like I'm saying like I was just raised in like this ridiculous like environment or nothing like that. I don't want to make it seem like that. I'm very grateful for my upbringing, but it definitely did break me. Like when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, I think all of that was confusing, and I'm still really learning what it is that I want. And then I will say it made me have a tough relationship with my mom. And now that I'm grown, I can see that she was going through a lot. But it was tough. It was very, very, very tough. It was to the point where at sometimes I didn't even want to stay with my mom, then I would stay with my dad. It was just a lot of back and forth, girl. And I think even that I could say, like looking back, I didn't really stay in one home for a very long time, and I didn't realize how that can affect like how you feel grounded, how you are consistent with certain things in your life. Like it was a lot. It was a lot, if I could sum it up, for sure.
Yeah, it's actually beautiful though, like when you do get older and start to have like grace and empathy for your parents looking back, because it's like, wow, you really actually were going through a lot.
Oh,
and here I am, my teenage self, like, I can't stand her.
Yeah.
But you have no idea.
Right, because imagine being somebody from 18 to 30-something, almost 40 years old, and you're like, what do you mean you don't want to be with me? What do you mean? I don't want anything outside of you. What are you talking about?
And it as a, like, growing up and then, like, going through some similar things, it's like, well, I feel the same way at my 20-year-old self, so now I understand why my mom did act like that. And so it's great to have that grace and that perspective change, because it's like, okay, I'll be nice.
Right.
I'll be kind.
And that goes back to like 2 episodes before when we were talking about the healing thing. It's like the only thing you can do is forgive and increase your self-awareness and like make better decisions. Right. But if we just had to be honest, yes, the broken home did break both of us. So
it did.
Sorry, it did.
It did. And y'all did the best y'all could. But it's okay. We move on, and now when we have kids and raise them, you know, we'll give them best.
We're all just trying to do our best.
That's it. All right. So, why do you want to be married?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Is there a solid answer?
There's so many answers. Like I said, when I was in college and like the reality of me going back to New York to visit and stuff like that, it really hit me that there's no home base. Like, of course, both of my parents could say, "What do you mean? Both of our homes are home base." I get that, but like, you know how people back in the day have that one grandma house. Everybody goes to that grandma house. My family is spread across, like,
yeah.
So that is when I started thinking about stuff like that, like really how I want my family to be for myself. So that's one of the reasons, just wanting to be that safe place for my kids. Like, I want everything to be under one roof. I want to be in control of certain things when it comes to raising my family. That's one for sure. And then on the money side, because people always say, oh, it's a contract and all that stuff. I feel like, just like the Bible says, a woman is your helpmate. I feel like when I'm really in love, I really am that helpmate figure. And I can't just be doing that for a boyfriend.
Right.
Like, when it comes to these investments and all these business ideas, I be down to help. I be down to do the research for you, do all of these different things. I can't be doing that for somebody that's just my boyfriend. No. Right. No.
You help to elevate.
No. Yeah, like, I be blindly in love. It can get like that. And it can't be just getting like that for a boyfriend. Like, no.
Right. So put it on.
Yeah, so financially, like, of course, I want to put my all into it. And I want to be able to have that legacy for my family to come. Not just my kids, my grandkids. You know, it just needs to be all in one place if I could just sum it up for real.
Yeah, I can agree. I think those were great points. Having that stability in that home. I come from a very small family, especially not knowing my dad's side of the family. And so I've always wanted that home where everybody came over and where it's a random Tuesday, we having a cookout, or it's the weekend and all the kids and their friends and my friends and their kids and everybody's just in the house having a great time. And we have that love to show to the kids. Like, as an example, on a relationship part of it, like, I want to be married because I don't want us to like create all these memories and then separate, and it's just like, hey, of course you can get divorced, but of course we don't want to be married to get divorced, so we're not thinking about divorce. It's like, I don't want to create all these memories and this legacy and these moments with one person, and then 2 years later, we're just like, oh yeah, that was just that. Like, we were just
and
in
how
a
many
relationship.
people keep doing that with people?
Yeah, especially when you create that strong bond. And so it's like, what's the point of that? Instead of just, let's just make it long lasting. And like, of course, anybody can say, like, nobody wants to die alone. Like, nobody does. Like, you don't want to be in your older years and you're just single, still maybe dating, and it's like, yeah, like, this is my life. Like, I do want to have a partner. I do enjoy coming home to someone every night and seeing them, and we're creating those moments and daily routines together and just happy to be around each other. Financially, yes, I do think it helps to have a partner a lot. Like, even for a woman, if I want something done and my man is there and my husband is there, can you just do it? Like, why do I have to pay for it? Yeah. Especially when it is that, like, stuff with the car, stuff with the house and things like that. It's a great, strong foundation there. And it's like, it's just on one.
Yeah. And I think even with the finance thing, it just made me think of this lady that I met at work. She was way older. Like, I think she was about to retire. But she was telling us, it was in our training, so she was just going over different resources in the company, and then she was talking about the 401k. She was like, please, y'all, please take advantage of that. And she was saying that her and her husband, they used the husband's income for, like, the bills and their life expenses, and they invested all of her income in their 401k. And she's like, we're so set. It's ridiculous.
Period. And see?
Like, the partnership. Like,
unit.
I can't keep doing, like, these crazy things that I be wanting to do with boyfriends. Like, I need a man for real. Like, hello, please. Yeah. Like, I just want to be sad. I want to be safe. I want it to be permanent.
Exactly. Permanent.
Yes. All right. So the next question is, how has the goal of wanting to be married shaped your dating experiences? Expectations, my bad.
Ooh. So I will say it's caused me to be more intentional when dating. Having certain conversations that need to be had, simply asking a person, do they want to be married?
Or are you... This girl's talking about when dating. I'm sorry, I just had to say something. When dating, like, she's really out here dating.
I'm speaking for the future.
Okay.
I'm currently still shacking up.
Something. Like, come on.
I'm still shacking up with a man. But no, I still live... Me and my son's father... We figured
That is her man, y'all.
figuring
She's
it out.
killing me with the son's father
What do you
thing.
want me to say?
She's killing
That's
me.
just my baby daddy.
That's your boyfriend. That's your man.
Until he's a husband.
Oh, okay.
He's not.
Okay, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, girl.
That little boy father. And so we're still shacking up, but we are having certain conversations. And if I was actively dating,
Okay, better.
out in these streets of Atlanta, I would simply start by asking them simply, do you want to be married? That's the first thing. I will say in college, I was not dating for marriage at all. So it was like, girl, bye. But if I was actively dating, like conversations that I weren't having in the past would be had. Do you want marriage? Do you want a family? You know, what are your goals? What are your intentions? Like, how are you gonna, how long before you propose? Like, what are you looking for in a wife? How are you gonna present yourself as a husband? Those things like that.
Okay. So how has it shaped my expectations? I think my problem is I pick the person and then I just expect them to have the same goals as me. Because they be acting like I'm just the most amazing person they ever met, that they're just going to stand in line.
Yeah, they do.
But it's like, now moving forward, like you're saying, dating moving forward, like, I think it'll be so much, not easier, but like just more in alignment if you are with somebody who's already seeking that same goal. Like, yeah, like maybe he's a little bit older, like, that's T. Like, I really want to start dating people older than me. But
how much older?
Like 33.
Okay, that's not that.
34. I'm scared of 35 because that sounds a little crazy. But 33, I'm 26. So
that's a good. I'm
turning 27 this year. That's not that much.
That's not bad at all.
Anywho, like a dude that's like, I've already accomplished certain things in my life, like I'm looking for a wife. I feel like that has to be such a better experience than like dating people because you like them and then you want them to kind of want the same things as you. Like, that tussle. I feel like I'm still going through that, and that's just the honest truth. But I think the expectations has shaped my expectations because I am looking for someone that is respectful. I am looking for someone that wants a family, that wants to be a father, that, wants to be a husband and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely shaped my expectations to look for those things. I'm just, I'm out here.
So you actively dating?
Yep. Period. Since we're just putting it all in circle.
You asked me.
Since we're putting it out there.
I'm shy.
I mean, I'm not actively dating, but I'm single, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm recently single.
Oh. Interesting.
Anyway. Next question. Next caller.
She said she's single.
Next caller.
All right. So that brings us to our question of, I got to touch on it a little bit. Growing up, was marriage always a goal for you?
Embarrassingly, no. Is embarrassingly a word?
I think embarrassingly is a word.
No.
Don't be embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed, but like it just hit us both and we were like, oh shoot, I was not thinking about that. So I could even remember the time when we started thinking about this. Like, it was literally 2020. Yeah. And my dad, I don't know what the heck was going on, but he just kept calling me with all of these different life questions. And I was like, I really wasn't thinking about that. Like, he was like,
ooh, love that. It made me ponder.
But it was making me mad too. Because I feel like it was when Kevin Samuels was out making all his content. And it kind of just, I feel like he really brought a lot of different topics to the Black community. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's not like we never heard of it, but it was really like, oh, let's talk about this. But yeah, like, oh, do you want to get married? Like, have you thought about that? And of course, my answer was probably yes. Of course, I have thought about being somebody's mama, somebody's wife, and stuff like that. But intentionally taking those steps at that time, no, I was not. In 2020, no, I was not. And I started having those conversations with her also. And it just kind of put things into perspective for me. But like, when I was dating in college, the person that I was dating, we were like together the whole time I was in college, but like on and off. The conversation did come up, and that's something that we did both want. But yeah, I'll just keep it like that. For the most part, no, I was not. I was dating to have fun, and it was like, everybody always in love with me, so it's like, I'm thinking we're going to get married. Shoot, I didn't know I had to ask you at the first 2-3 days.
Right, that's true, y'all. That's so true. Me and her friend and just like witnessing it, it's like, they just be like, rawr. But I also can agree. I was not. I mean, I was not dating with the goal of marriage. Of course, you asked me, do I want to be married? It's like yes, but I wasn't preparing. I wasn't intentionally dating, thinking, will this man one day be my husband? It was like she said, I like you, you like me.
So we gonna get married.
So we gonna get married. But it's like then you ask this grown man or this man, this young man, and he's like, you know, you throwing certain questions at him. He's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And then he might just start shutting down. It's like a no. So now you looking like, oh, well maybe we not gonna get married. So I wasn't, because it wasn't. I don't know why it just wasn't that serious. It just wasn't something that I was like, let me be intentional about this.
I don't feel like it's all of our fault though. I feel like if like the experience of people that have married parents, they probably be like, that's something so easy that they thought of for real, for real.
Right. Yeah, but who in my life?
No.
Nobody was married. I don't even have like a firm example of what a successful marriage in my life.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's sad.
My grandparents were divorced before I was even born. I don't even know my dad's side of the family. So yeah, like I don't really know any examples of somebody. So if you're a married woman or man out there, feel free to give some tips in the comments and let us know. Right, let us know your experience. Even if you're a kid from a married couple and you're just like, oh yeah, this is the conversations my parents used to have.
Like, how did you always know? Or whatever it was. Like, what was that experience for you?
Because my single mother cannot resonate. She wasn't having different conversations with me. So that's why it was beautiful. Zoe just started asking me those questions too, because her dad was, you know, bringing them to her attention and things like that. You know, amen for friends.
It was kind of funny though, because we was like, girl, what? We was not thinking about that.
Right. We like, they like me, we like them.
We gonna get married. No, that's not how it goes. Because these guys do not be wanting to be married.
They don't. But love, like being in love with somebody and blindly in love with them really is like scary sometimes. Because it's like, you can't tell me we're not gonna get married.
Right. Like why wouldn't we?
I've dated certain people and been like, no, we're going to get married.
Yeah.
We are. And
tough luck.
Sorry for them. Thank God that didn't work out.
Oh man. Okay. Well, this has been deep.
It has, but we made it positive.
Right, but we have a moment, okay? So if you're new here, the end of our podcast always ends with a moment. Mm-hmm. So I ask questions like name a moment. It's kind of like name a time when, and it could be a story time. Whatever you want to do to relate to it. You could bust out singing. I really don't care. Whatever you want to do, boo. Okay. So for this moment, was there ever a moment you thought people who didn't come from broken homes were better off?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I thought like they were like more stable, like emotionally, even financially. I felt like they had more guidance. They had a better example of what love looked like from both their mother and their father, because they had, I would hope, you know, if your parents were happy, you had a happy mother. And I think that's so important for women to see, is like the happy mom or like a joyful mom, because when your mom is sad and I think you're being raised around that, it kind of like, I feel like it creates an independence that you have to just start having for yourself, because like your mom is just not maybe that affectionate or maybe that hands-on with you, where you just kind of take off for yourself. So I thought they were better off. At this age right now, I can't necessarily say that I still feel the same.
Right, because I can't wait to say people be married and unhappy, baby.
People be married unhappy. They be staying in marriages just for their kids and divorce right after they get older. And honestly, everybody still has their own individual trauma that they're going to have, regardless if their parents were happy or not. Like, you just have a different walk of life, and it still comes with its own struggle. So I don't think they're better off at this age. Like, I am aware that we're all individuals. We all have our own things that we're going to go through in life. And that makes us unique. That makes us have our own lessons. And so, yeah, I don't think they're better off anymore. But as a child, as a young adult, I was like, this is why they're so much further in life, because they had this and this and that and guidance. And yeah.
I thought that they were, and I kind of still have a sense that they are, but maybe it's just a vision that I have from my own life. Because I do feel like that one home thing, I feel like that plays a major part in your character development, and just feeling like you have that foundation in that safe place. I think that is super, super important. So if you have that, you need to be grateful about that. I think it started hitting me when I got to college, because when you get to college, you are exposed to so many different lives, for real. But I even used to think that, like, if I ever got a glimpse of like a friend's house with two married parents, which is really rare, but I have seen it. It's like, oh, their house is so nice. Oh my god, they got all of that. I just feel like definitely the money thing. Like, I always thought people with parents that were married and together had more money, which they probably do, because you're not paying for separate bills and separate cars and separate blah 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 blah. Like, it's two incomes under one roof. Hello?
Especially if you have more kids, like more than one kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely thought that. I think it hit me more when I got to college, because I have friends who have married parents, and you can see the difference. So I think a part of me, I just think that the foundation and having that one place really does help you. So I think that that's why I think they're better off. But I'm aware that these adults be having married parents and they be messed up in the head. So, everybody has their goods and their bads.
Right. Everybody has their faults. So yeah.
Right. So that's it, really. Did you have anything else for the people today?
I don't think so. Except, I would love to hear from a married person's perspective who maybe is our age and comes from a family with married parents. Yeah. I would just love, because we don't have many friends who have married parents. So let's talk. Let's chit chat.
Well, that's it. Thanks for riding away with us.
We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same vibe. Bye.
Bye.